Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1.
Oh my God. I've been laughing for like 10 minutes straight. I really have. We got some lag going on. I'll be right back. Hold on, yo. all about to get that fucking work. Oh my gosh. Ego's Army. Are we in the house? I said Ego Army. Are we in the house? Shout out to the Army, man. Salute. We about to do a little stream. Shout out to Eddie Diaz for the subscription. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man, not again. Yo, we're gonna have to work through. There's a little bit of lag because there's multiple things happening on my computer in the background, searching for files and shit. So it might have a little bit of lag, but we should be good in about 5 minutes or so. Ego's Army. I told y'all I got y'all, man. You see the name. We the Army. Oh my gosh. This is what they didn't want. And you know what I told y'all in the past live stream? All my Ego's Army can attest to this. I told you, when it comes to, I feel like Maury Povich, in the case of Joshua Wilder fallout, I told you, Team Joshua has presented and provided the most damaging evidence. A lot of people talk about, oh, Wilder said this and that. That's cool. Shelly Finkel, that's cool. But the most damaging evidence against what really happened is coming from Team Joshua. And in this video, we're going to discuss and explore some things that were just said by Barry Hearn. And this is more proof of what I told you then. The most damaging evidence didn't come from Wilder or Jay Diaz or Shelly Finkel, Shirley Winkle, stuff like that. It came from Team Joshua, somebody in that faction, promoter, trainer, matchroom, somebody. Oh my gosh, this is what y'all didn't want. Once again, we provide y'all the latest and greatest, and Barry Hearn provided y'all with the ether. Hold on, we about to really turn this up. Let's do a quick roll call. We're gonna do a quick roll call one time. Shout out to Brent Weary. He got the roll call kicked off with a $10 salute. What happened? We're going to talk about it right after this roll call. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Chirac 312, I see you, Chicago. Baltimore, KC, Missouri, Bay Area, yee. Shout out to Victorville, 760. Sonora, Mexico, I see you, salute. Riverside, motherfucker. Norfolk, Virginia. Beemore, Bay Area, Hayward. 347, Boogie Down, BX. Shout out to the Bronx. Santa Monica, 310, North Hollywood, but grew up in the LBC shit. St. Petersburg, Florida. We talk the truth tonight. Hey, Petersburg, we talk tonight. 504. Shout out to Uptown New Orleans, Indianapolis, Seattle, Washington, Philly. 323. What up, Trooper? Puerto Rico. I see you. Texas. Barry Hearn is now new media. Hey, y'all tripping. That's hilarious though. Whoever said that. Massachusetts, San Fernando Valley, San Antonio, Rhode Island. Listen. He said the porn capital. You ain't never lied. London, 6 a.m. He in London. He said it's the vampire stream. Los Angeles. All right, I got to get into it, man. I can't even wait no longer. This interview, almost thought you would come with the ether. That man Barry Hearn just ethered his own squad. He ethered his own team with honesty. Shout out to him for providing the ether. He made my job easy. I ain't even got to do nothing. I don't know you B, I don't know you lost to. I ain't even got to do nothing. I really don't. We just, all you have to do is talk about it. Barry Hearn already gave you that gas. Barry Hearn, okay. I know you ain't talking about me, dog. You? Shout out to Barry Hearn for that interview. I said Barry Hearn got that gas. Barry Hearn got that ether. Oh man, why y'all let this interview come out? Where the protectors at now? Yeah. He said with whiskers like a rat compared to beans you whack. What did Barry Hearn say? We gonna get into it. Smash the like button. New media. Eagles Army. We right here, dog. We ain't sell our soul for riches. You 36 in a karate class? Oh my gosh. You Thai boho. I tried telling y'all. Y'all didn't want to listen. I told you the ether was coming. I told you Death Row East was coming. Eagles Army was coming. You know? Shout out to Barry Hearn for his honesty. He did an interview with IFL TV. I've been left for dead, distant, forgotten, luck ran out. Oh my gosh. Let's get it. I'm gonna talk about it. Since we got the acapella joint. So oh man. This makes my day. You know why? Because it's vindication. Vindication. All these idiots arguing for, let's hear you argue now. And this, I'm gonna tell you the only thing they're gonna say, which is some bullshit. Oh, Eddie Hearn is in charge of the business. Barry doesn't know what he's talking about. He didn't mean it like that. Barry Hearn didn't mean it like that. You know what I'm saying? You're lucky Barry ain't like foreign, because when it's always something controversial that was said, they try to act like, oh, Triple G didn't mean Canelo fans were fake. It's the translation. Well, guess what? He speaks English just like us. Most of us on the channel, right? And he told you what it was. So there's really no excuse to argue. You know what I mean? He didn't mean it like that, or he doesn't know what's going on. He's old and senile. You're not going to do that. He's part of Matchroom. He founded Matchroom. He was doing Matchroom when Eddie was in his room. You know what I'm saying? I said he was running Matchroom when Eddie was in his room, playing with chutes and ladders and jacks and shit. You know what I mean? Playing Connect 4. So you're not gonna take him out the equation and act like he just said something and like, come on, man. So they caught Barry Hearn, They caught him at a good time. He was fishing, you know, just enjoying the weather, fishing and whatnot. IFL did an interview with him. The
appointment. Fortunately, because of the relation, I don't think anyone, only a blind person, could not understand what's happened to boxing. Wilder one was, you know, and he said, look, you know, Shelley Finkel, go and sit down with him. Superfluous, but when it's things like, okay, let's sign Deontay Wilder, I will say to him,
than Eddie has.
Difficult to have a worse one, I would think. November 22nd. Personally, my advice was let's leave it 2 years. Eddie and
he said my advice was to leave Wilder Joshua brewing for 2 years.
Anthony Joshua would fight Deontay Wilder.
Listen.
On September 22nd. Personally, my advice was let's leave it 2 years. Because then how the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight got built.
So how the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. I told y'all. Comparing it to something that had nothing to do with Joshua. Joshua ain't done what Pacquiao done, and he ain't done what Mayweather done. Neither has Wilder. So that comparison automatically is not the case for your fight.
You know, in commercial terms, Deontay Wilder and AJ today is a $70 million fight, maybe 80.
He just said it's a $70 to $80 million fight today, which is a lot greater than, once again, the lowball estimate that Eddie Hearn said. Eddie Hearn says it does 30-40 in the UK right now.
In 2 years' time, it might be $250, $300 million.
He said in 2 years' time, it might be worth $250, $300 million. And then listen.
There's a greater risk of in 2 years' time one of them fights getting beat.
That's where your judgment comes in and say, do I see anyone out there to beat either of them? No. Could it happen? Yes. If it happens, okay, that was a bad call.
I couldn't find time. It might be worth 200 in your music.
It's not about sitting still, not taking chances. Do I see anyone out there to beat either of them? No. Could it happen? Yes. If it happens, okay, that was a bad call. But, you know, life's about making calls. It's not about sitting still. It's not taking chances. So I think Shelley Finkel wanted to cash in on Deontay Wilder straight away. That's my honest view. He wanted to fight straight away. That's crazy. Business crazy. And Shelley knows better than that, unless he didn't fancy winning the fight.
He said Shelley Finkel is crazy to have wanted the Wilder Joshua fight straight away.
And thought we better get some money out of it. That's a possibility. We don't have that concern with AJ.
Have you had any further conversations with Shelley?
See, that doesn't even make sense. He tried to, after he said that, he tried to level the playing field. He tried to level the playing field and say that, oh, Shelley Finkel, only reason he wanted the fight is because he didn't fancy that AJ or Wilder would win. Stop it. These dudes are getting bodied. All y'all fans that was going against the Army, y'all getting bodied. He just told you on tape, because I'm sure it's probably low, so maybe some of y'all couldn't hear. He did an interview with IFL TV, and he told you guys that he said, AJ asked him, and he says you should wait 2 years to fight Wilder, because then the fight would be worth $250 to $300 million, versus now it's probably worth a strong 70, maybe $80 million. But if you extend it and let it marinate for 2 years, then it'll be worth more, like Mayweather Pacquiao, basically. He also, the interviewer says, what if one of them gets beat in 2 years? And he says that's a judgment call. You got to take a risk. If he said if they get beat, then you'd be like, oh damn, like that wasn't the right decision. But basically, it sounds like something we willing to risk. He said, do I see anyone beating them right now? No. So, in their opinion, sounds like Matchroom is content letting it linger because they don't really see an immediate person that will beat either guy, so they just stall it out. I mean, this is a person. It's not like this is the founder of Matchroom. So I understand Eddie Hearn didn't say this, and Eddie Hearn might be in charge now. You know, Barry Hearn gave him the keys. He's like, oh, you the youthful guy, you my son. You know, he inherited it. But if we're having viewpoints from the dad like this, the founder of Matchroom, you mean to he even said in this interview, he said this to AJ. He said, I talked to AJ about it. Right? So if the dad is feeling this way, you mean to tell me Eddie Hearn really wanted to make the fight, and he's on some rogue mission to really make the fight when his pops is telling you to let it wait for 2 years? Oh my gosh. This is that ether, man. We running in these boys' pockets now. You know what I'm saying?
No, I wouldn't have a conversation that said he told me to, because he's in charge. I'm happy to be there if necessary, and I'm sure post Fury Wilder, if it happens, would be a good time to talk again. But when you plan a business that's got a 10-year lifespan,
listen,
you don't rush it.
You don't rush it.
I said to AJ, he asked me.
See, he said, I said to AJ, not I said to Eddie Hearn. He said, I said to AJ. He said, you think of a 10-year plan, and when you got a business, you don't rush it.
I said to AJ, he asked me my honest opinion. I said, the conversation that said
he said, oh my God, man. He said, when you running a business, you think of a 10-year plan. And I said to AJ, AJ asked me, that's Anthony Johnson, right? He asked me, and I gave him my opinion. Listen.
He told me to, because he's in charge. I'm happy to be there if necessary, and I'm sure.
Just listen.
Fury Wilder, if it happens, would be a good time to talk again. But when you plan a business that's got a 10-year lifespan, you don't rush it.
Don't rush it.
I said to AJ, he asked me my honest opinion. I said, if you told me you were going to retire in 6 months' time, I'd tell you to fight Deontay Wilder now. If you tell me you're here for the long run, I say that fight can only get bigger. And also, you don't take chances. You don't go to the other bloke's backyard when you don't need to.
He said,
plan a business that's got a
oh my gosh, my stomach hurt. He says, and you don't take risks. You don't take chances and go to the other bloke's backyard. AKA why Anthony Johnson passed up on $50 million. He's telling you the blueprint right here, you dumb motherfuckers, you. You know what I'm saying? And if you really want to tell me that the founder of Matchroom is just speaking out of his ass and that his son, who now owns the business, has this rogue mission, right? Despite everything we know that happened, all the inconsistencies, all the loopholes, and that Eddie Hearn was just hell-bent on giving Joshua this fight, despite his own father's advice. He just told you, I talked to AJ specifically. He said, AJ asked me, and I don't know why this interview came out. I mean, I respect it. Shout out to IFL and everyone for, not hiding it, because this just gave me ammunition. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's just, he just told you the blueprint. The whole thing is business. Mayweather Pacquiao is worth 70, 80 now, but if you hope no one loses and I don't see no one beating them, wait 2 years, right? It's going to be worth 250, 300 mil. You get all this money. Boom, boom, boom. He's telling you the blueprint. He's telling you what I've been telling you. What are they going to say? What are the AJ protectors going to say now? He says, you don't take a risk and go into the bloke's backyard. Man, stop it.
Because he's in charge.
Listen.
I'm at a 10-year time to talk again.
10-year plan.
When you plan a business that's got a 10-year lifespan, you don't rush it.
You don't rush it. Think long term, he's basically saying. He says if Anthony Johnson said he was going to retire in 6 months, I would say take the Wilder fight. But since he's not planning on retiring in 6 months, then you don't rush it. And you certainly don't take risks or chances that involve you going to a bloke's backyard. Hey, looking shaky, baby. Just listen.
Yeah, I said to AJ, he asked me my honest opinion. I said, if you told me you were going to retire in 6 months' time, I'd tell you to fight Deontay Wilder now. If you tell me you're here for the long run, I say that fight can only get bigger. And also, you don't take chances. You don't go to the other bloke's backyard when you don't need to. Money is insignificant. And also, you don't take chances. And also, you don't take chances. And also, that fight can only get bigger. And also, that fight can only get bigger. And also, you don't take chances. And also, you don't take chances. That fight can only get bigger.
Oh my gosh.
And also, you don't take chances. You don't go to the other bloke's backyard when you don't need to. The money is insignificant different.
So if it's your personal preference, you would choose for AJ to fight him in 2 years' time from now?
2 years would be the maximum. The most likely thing for me would be fall 2019.
Okay.
I think by then, Deontay Wilder's done a very good job of making himself famous.
Oh my God. This contradicts everything that's ever been said. Eddie Hearn, he did all this interviewing people in New York saying, hey, who's Deontay Wilder? And like, oh, Deion Sanders? I don't know the nigga. You know what I'm saying? And then he's saying Wilder's done a great job of marketing himself.
On the back of all this AJ and Fury and all that. And that's good news for everybody because no one knows or no one knew Deontay Wilder in America. More people know him now. And AJ is unknown in America.
Oh my, I'm done. He said AJ's unknown in America. We done.
I don't see any matching places. Sorry about that.
Hey, shut the fuck up, Siri. Listen, I'm done. He just said nobody knows Anthony Johnson in America. Y'all better hope this interview get burned by tomorrow. Cause we gonna burn this motherfucker down. Like, hey, hey, don't ever tell me like all y'all motherfuckers is, oh, you sucking Wilder's dick, you Deontay Wilder dick sucker. How you like me now? How you like me now? He told you the blueprint. Dead it. Almost thought you would come with the ether. What y'all gotta say now? Yeah, you sucking Deontay Wilder's dick and all that. Where y'all at now? I'm waiting. I definitely want to hear your response. Oh, he's old and senile. Oh, he didn't take his medicine. Oh, he doesn't know what's really going on. Eddie Hearn's the master blaster. What are y'all gonna say now? What's your excuse now? Y'all gonna be like Tyrone Biggins. Got any more? Goddamn Joe Rogan. Got any more of them excuses? What do y'all have to say now? This is what Ego's Army, New Media, Ego, Boxingego has been telling you. And you, sign the contract, big boy. Why Wilder lost his pen? And he just told you. He just told you everything that you needed to know in one fishing trip. But what happened? Oh, Wilder should sign. Man, come on, man. What we talking about? Shout out to Blue Blood Sports, my guy. He said it's too late. These motherfuckers got to report to the bridge for blow up. Damn, they fucked up. That's what I'm saying. You got to do something, baby. Like I've been telling y'all. Y'all got to do something. Everybody listening. You got to do something, baby. What is there to say now? Like, why did this occur? What's the latest excuse now? You know, now you're going to bash the father? Say he don't know what he's talking about, or like I said, he didn't take medicine and he was drunk when he did this interview. It's always some excuse, so I'm just waiting to hear what the excuse is. Man, he was off them perks and Molly. Barry Hearn popped them Molly. He didn't really know. That was a hologram. That wasn't even Barry Hearn fishing. That was his twin brother Ezekiel. Hey, what's the excuse now? That wasn't Barry Hearn speaking? It's like, you seen Tom Cruise Mission Impossible, right? It was one of the masks that pop up. It wasn't really Barry Hearn. That was Shelley Finkel with a Mission Impossible mask. Oh my God. What's the latest excuse, yo? I'm waiting for it. I come on, amuse me. I want to hear the latest excuse. I heard of putting someone's feet to the fire, but y'all motherfuckers just jumped in the fire. I told you that Joshua, let me show y'all on some Fire Marshal Bill shit now. Y'all looking like some s'mores, and we coming for some more bars. Oh my gosh, y'all jumped in the fire. He just told you. He just told you to wait 2 years. He said, AJ asked me, so that cuts out the middleman. That cuts out Eddie Hearn right there. He said, AJ asked me to, go listen to it. He said, AJ asked me, and I gave him my honest opinion, and I says, if you're going to retire in 6 months, you need to fight him right now. But if you're thinking long term and we're making a 10-year plan for it, you don't fight him next. You don't, you extend it. The fight will be more money down the road, which is eerily similar to the first fucking interview from Joshua that kicked this whole thing off, where Joshua was on the apron of a boxing ring talking to Johnny Nelson, talking about, devil right here, the angel, and the devil told me this, and the angel told me this, devil in the details and all that. Wait till 2018, 19, 22. This sound, what he said, shout out to Atman for the subscription. What he just said, what Barry Hearn said, is in perfect unison of what Joshua said in that interview. Shout out to Blue Blood for the $5 super chat. My brother Ego putting that heat on. Salute to you, bro. Man, you kick shit off too, with that DAZN. I wish I was there, man. I want a piece of that. Like, remember when Bishop, he wanted a piece of when Blizzard was in that bar when they played hooky. I felt like Bishop when y'all was at that DAZN. I felt like Bishop. He's like, hey Q, what's up? You want to get a piece of this? And he's like, nah, man, I'm all right. And then he walked out. That's why I wanted a piece. When I was when I seen y'all at that DAZN shit with that full court press, I wanted me a piece like Bishop. He said, it is check day. We are in there. He was like, hurry up and strip. Damn it, cause you look good. I'm trying to get that piece. I want that piece, that Blizzard. Blizzard ain't sticking up to nothing now. I'm trying to get that piece. I want a piece of that juice. Hurry up and strip. Damn it, cause you look good. I'm trying to get that piece. Blizzard is in there right now, sticking the joint up. Hey, it is check day. We are in there. I'm trying to get a piece. This stream is boring. Get the fuck out. Shooters, remove him. His name is Frozen Embryo. Yeah, you gonna be a frozen embryo. You the demolition man. You gonna really be frozen. Shooter, clap him. See, these dudes know they getting bodied. That's why they have to say, because listen, as a grown-ass man, as an alpha male, if the stream is not up to your liking, up to par, then you leave. You don't tell everybody, oh, this stream is fucking boring. It's boring because you getting your candy ass whipped with this argument. That's what's boring. Because you, for the last 8 months, have been saying some bullshit. Wilder's ducking Dillian White. Wilder forgot his pen. Wilder this. Wilder the real reason. That's why it's boring to you. Nobody like an ass whooping. So of course it's boring to you. You really a frozen embryo. Man, get these embryos out of here. That's so, we whooping them so bad they turning back into embryos. They ain't even full-fledged adults anymore. We putting them back in the womb. You know, on some Jurassic Parks. Welcome to Jurassic Park. We turn them back to embryos. They fossils out here. I told y'all, Death Row East, believe in that. These dudes is getting body bag. Of course you bored. Because a real man ain't going to tell you he bored. He just going to bounce. You know what I'm saying? Say me and Blue Blood go to a club in New York and the shit's whack. We ain't got to tell, hey, DJ, your music, you're not spinning the latest and greatest hits. We're leaving. You don't tell the DJ what the, you just bounce. Like, this shit suck. You know, you tell your homie that and then you bounce. Like, you ready to roll? Yeah, I'm out. You don't tell the whole crowd and shit. Hey, got an announcement. We're leaving. Hey, these dudes getting bodied. And it feels good. It feels real good. Because this is what we work for. Now, watch. I promise you. I told you this was coming. All these channels that was saying some bullshit, now that the truth is finally out, and it's really nothing you could do to argue that. And if you want to, I would love to hear it. The link is in the description of the video where Shelly Finkel revealed all this. I will also put it in the chat. Everybody check the chat right now. There's the link so you can watch it for yourself. Hold on, we gotta get to this money. We gotta get to this money. Shout out to Big Time with the $10 super chat. We getting that money. Big Time said Barry Hearn is like that villain that tells the hero his entire plan. Oh my gosh, that is the funniest thing. Because I know exactly what you're talking about. Barry Hearn is like the villain that tells the hero his entire plan before trying to take over the world. Oh my gosh, hey, I thought I was the king of analogies. Y'all give some claps up to Big Time, because that is the perfect. He was like, yeah, and then I'm gonna put the bomb in the reactor, and you can't do nothing about it, He-Man. You know what I'm saying? So He-Man know the whole plan. You done told the Ninja Turtles, yeah, we're gonna go back to the Technodrome after we after we put the bomb on Earth, we're gonna drill back to the Technodrome. You told the whole plan. We need more claps. Ego Army, y'all gotta do that. We need the money keep coming. We need more. What is this, Shredder? We need more bombs and put it on Earth in the Technodrome. You told the whole plan. We know the whole plan. Now the bad guy, you think because He-Man or the Ninja Turtles is tied up, you told the whole plan and walked away and left them with some weak ass henchmen, and then they untie themselves some kind of way, and then now they kill all the henchmen, and now they looking for you and they're gonna foil your plans. Come on. That sounds nothing like Bill Cosby, but for sure. Shout out to DOG215, £2 super chat. Wilder should use Barry's admittance in his promo. These dudes are getting bodied. But I told y'all, look at all these channels that were saying everything I was saying. They were saying the total opposite, and watch the numbers. See what happens next. Ain't shit gonna happen to my numbers. My numbers, if anything, is gonna improve. Because the Ego's Army, at the end of the day, y'all know what's real is real. Y'all know who told you what. So, pay like you weigh. If I was right, I was right. If I was wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. You guys tell me that I was wrong with this whole situation. I've been calling it for months. Since last year. Damn near. What is this, Shredder? We must get into the portal. You told a whole game plan. And if you really want me to believe that the father has this notion of what should happen in a perfect world with Wilder Joshua, and he's willing to tell AJ, but he hasn't told his own son, who's running the company he founded, and Eddie Hearn just so desperately wants to make Wilder Joshua fight that he's going against everything his father is requesting, and his father, who's been in the business longer than him, he's just going rogue and fuck that, Dad. I'm in charge now. We gotta make the fight for boxing fan. If you really want me to believe some bullshit like that, get the fuck out of here. Shout out to F Cisco, $5 super chat, gang gang. You know what I'm saying? If you want me to believe some stupid shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a realist. I know that just because one person has their opinion, but this is Matchroom. They're all under the Matchroom umbrella. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if Al Heyman was in Floyd Mayweather's ear and he's like, "Oh, Gervonta Tank Davis, he shouldn't fight Lomachenko." And Al Heyman was saying what Barry Hearn is saying about him not fighting Lomachenko. You don't think Floyd is going to take heed to what a guy who's helped him get a lot of money and mentored him and has more experience than him in the business side? He's not going to take heed to any of that. He's just going to be like, "Hey, Al Heyman, I respect you. We done a lot of great business together, but Gervonta versus Lomachenko has to happen now." You think Floyd's going to... Come on, man. Now, this ain't about Floyd, because that was just a made-up scenario. Now put it back to Barry Hearn, Eddie Hearn, and AJ. Barry Hearn just told you. He told you. I talked to AJ, and I told him, if you were considering leaving boxing in the short term, cool. Ego, you were saying this since February. As long as the people know, how is it that I've been able to call it? I'm telling you, watch what happened to these channels' numbers. And I can't wait. I can't wait. Don't put my name in your title of your video. Listen, like Jay said, do not put my verse on y'all records. Do not make your own lane. Don't use my name. You know what I'm saying? I don't have nothing to do with you explaining why Barry Hearn just said all this on tape. Do not put my verse on your record. Don't put my name on your title. And if y'all see my name in some bullshit, don't even click on it. That Eagles Army, we gotta unite. We gotta stand up for some real shit. You know what I mean? People trying to piggyback and shit off of the name I built with the fans. We not falling for that. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers talking about, oh yeah, Boxingego, he been exposed. I've been exposed, but I'm still growing. What kind of expose is this? How I get exposed? Who the fuck get exposed and do better? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are these dudes talking about? You know what I'm saying? Yo, how you get... Somebody make that make sense. And don't use no other channel's name. This ain't about no specific channel. I don't know you beat, I don't know you lost to. All I want to know from the fans, how you get exposed and do better. How you get exposed and grow from that rapidly. You let me know when that's happened. You know what I mean? Where there's no damage control needed. Like, let's say Oscar De La Hoya, he had the little fishnet joint. That was like a scandal. Canelo with the Clembuterol, that was a scandal. Those are setbacks. They say I got exposed. They say your boy got exposed, but then I grew. The same day I grew. The same week I grew. How that happened? At the end of the day, they could say it, we show it. You know what I'm saying? It's called show and tell, not tell and show. I said it's called show and tell, not tell and show. We show you and we tell you. We don't just tell you and not show you. Let's get it. Bars. Listen. Once again, I can't wait to hear the AJ protectors what they have to say. Ego has been exposed as the best. I told y'all what this situation was. So what happened to Wilder? Forgot his pin. I mean, you could take this down to basic common sense. And you know, it's not even that shocking or anything to me, because this is what I've been telling you all along. It's just vindicating because I've been telling you it all along. And you did have a group of people who, like, they tried their best to explain themselves out of everything, right? How are they going to explain themselves out of Barry White being that raw, uncut, and candid? And he said, I told AJ personally to not take the fight straight away unless you plan on getting out the game in 6 months. You got to think long term. You got to have a 10-year plan. And see, this is, like I said, this is all basic common sense because they've given, despite the bullshit and the little filter fluff shit that's been said, they've told you all of this stuff. Team Joshua in some form or fashion, be it Eddie, AJ, Rob McCracken, Barry, they've given you bits and pieces of this. AJ said it, oh, devil right here, the angels right here. I might fight him in 2020 if I feel like it. When no one's gonna rush me. He said that. He said in that first interview what Barry Hearn is basically saying. No one's gonna rush my career. These guys, they turned pro a year after I just started boxing. The guy in the suit is telling me to wait till I have the best opportunity to beat Wilder. But the fighter in me is telling me the angel, blah, blah, blah. Devil in the detail. That's what Barry Hearn's basically telling you. So, I mean, you look at the Wilder side. Wilder, when it came time to fighting Joshua, Shelly Finkel wasn't saying, we don't want Joshua. Joshua needs to fight Luis Ortiz. Joshua should fight Kubrat Pulev. Joshua should fight Gerald Big Baby Miller. They said, you should fight us. But in the case of Anthony Joshua, when Wilder wanted to fight Joshua, you heard Eddie Hearn, coming up for a while saying that Wilder needs to fight Dillian White to raise his stock and his profile in the UK. Chisora's coming off a big win, so he needs to fight Chisora. Dillian White just knocked out Lucas Brown, and now the broadcasters are begging for that fight. Shout out to Brent Weary, another one. $10 super chat. $10 for exposing the real. I mean, what more needs to be said? He just told you. You don't, and once again, the common sense will show you these things. How come no one on Wilder's team are making these types of like statements or situations? Shelly Finkel is not saying that Joshua should fight Gerald Miller first to earn a shot with Wilder, or to build, beat another real good American to build the fight. But their side is saying that. Wilder's side is not saying we absolutely won't fight in the UK for the first fight. They say you can fight in the US and get more money. We both can make more money, or we'll fight in the UK. Right? Joshua's side is saying we'll only fight the first fight in the UK. And then Barry Hearn just told you. He just said in the interview, you don't take a risk like fighting a bloke's backyard. What are we talking about, man? Somebody let me know. You see how every time the ether come out, they just shut the fuck up, and all the people that, so let's say this interview didn't come out. I'll have 1 million people, the same similar title. I have 1 million people resisting. Where the link? I just put the link in the chat. It's an IFL video. It's right there. It's in the description box too. I don't gotta spoon feed y'all. Like, I'm not lying. I'm not making this stuff up. You guys know this is the age of technology and the internet. You can research it too to find out what I'm talking about. I don't have to spoon feed you and baby you guys. That's the problem. People just say shit. They hear half of the story or whatever, and they expect someone, so they just go to certain channels or whatever, listen to what someone's saying, like, oh, that sounds like a solid argument. Don't research the facts. Don't listen. I do my own research. Y'all send me stuff all the time, but y'all, oh, Keith Thurman said this, so and so said this. That's cool, and I appreciate that, but I gotta hear it out the horse's mouth. I gotta hear Keith Thurman say X, Y, and Z. I gotta hear Barry Hearn say. So some people tell me how to get to it, and then I go watch it myself, and then determine how I take it. You know, I'm not just gonna listen to hearsay. That's what some of y'all do. $5 super chat. Shout out to F Cisco 1. Since you mentioned villains earlier, is it me or does Antonio Margarito look like Scar from The Lion King? No, that's actually a good one. I can see that. I can see that. Shout out to you for the super chat, man. And listen, this is how confident I am in what I've been saying. When the news breaks, I could get right. I don't have to prepare my case. I could jump right on here, do a video. I could jump right on here and do a live stream and be perfectly fine. Because I know I didn't say nothing crazy that was just looking, these other dudes got to backtrack and take a day to respond to it. You notice they never jump right on the horn and talk about what would just happen when it's that death blow. Do you get what I'm saying? I get on here right now and talk about the death blow. It don't make never mind to me because I know what I said and what I put on wax. It's looking real bad for y'all. I mean, just rationalize it. How do you rationalize that? So Barry Hearn just doesn't know what he's talking about. He wasn't the founder of Matchroom. He's the one that has these strong views about making the fight weight, but his son, who's still working with the same company that he founded, he really wants to make the fight despite his dad's reckoning. I mean, come on, let's be real. Let's really be real here. Smash the like button, man. We working hard. We working overtime. Hey, Kennedy, I like Kennedy Linder. Kennedy Linder like me, petty. He said that contract was fake. Where's that signed the contract, big boy? That's what I'm saying. Man, I got clips of AJ talking about I'm going to fuck him up. And 95% it will happen this year. I got all types of stuff. Where are all these comments now? Like, I'm waiting. I want to hear. See, you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all. I figured this game out. If y'all want me to tell you what the AJ Man fans and protectors is doing, right? Can I get a hell yeah? I'm gonna tell y'all. I've studied this game. Real talk. If y'all want me to know what the Man fans are doing right now, can I get a hell yeah in the comment section? I'm gonna expose it once again before it happens. I need more than that, and y'all got to get these fucking likes up. Ain't shit free. I'm putting in OT just to bring y'all this latest and greatest. Y'all got to show love, man. A lot of people want to hate. Okay. We just work harder. Work smarter. I'm going to tell you what they doing. You want to know what they doing? Couple more hell yeahs is on. This is what they doing. Panicking, trying to figure out their next excuse. See, what they do is congregate. They wait till Eddie Hearn or somebody responds to what his dad just said and listen to his argument and the excuse making or rationale of why his pops said that, right? And then now they report about. See, I don't wait for nothing. I don't wait for nobody. I barely even wait for red lights. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to. I'm from the Bay, like E40. Tell me when to go. Even if you tell me, I might have already went. But this is what they do. They have to congregate, wait till some other YouTube channel made up some excuse that they want to use and be like, oh, Barry Hearn said that. I mean, he's been fishing all day. He was in the sun. I think he had like a heat rash or the sun had got to him. Those UV rays. He didn't use the SPF 30, so he didn't know what he was saying during the interview. I mean, what is this? What is your latest excuse? Please tell me. But this is, again, I could jump right on. Everything I've said on the channel, I jump right on when the news hit. Because I know I'm not looking crazy. I know I didn't say nothing crazy or something that contradicts this. But to the people that did, don't say no names. Please don't, or you will be blocked. Don't mention anybody else's channel that has been on some crazy shit. Because I don't even know half these dudes. And this is not shameless plug hour. But what I'm saying is the ones you guys have in your head after this video, or leave my video and come back or whatever, go to their channel and tell me if they have a video talking about this. You know, check right now. Not after this, actually not after, because I want to know if they did a video before me. Because this interview came out earlier. You know, so I'm actually, my dude, Jay Shaw, he sent it to me a long time ago, or he the one that hit me to it on Instagram. So shout out to him. I didn't even know nothing about this. But it don't matter, because that's what happens when you're a well-oiled machine, when you got Ego's Army working. We know what it is. We put the message out there, and, you know, Ego's Army, we got foot soldiers. We got lieutenants, all types of shit. Sergeants on the front line, ready to continue the same battle. We at war. You know what I mean? He sent it to me. And he sent it to me a while ago. I was eating a taco, too. You know what I mean? So I didn't even just jump on it and then do a video, because I had to watch it. So I was eating 2 tacos from Jim Boys. Shout out to Jim Boys, sponsor the channel. And then I watched it, and then I got on. So this has been out for a matter of hours. But go to those channels, you know, old media channels and all that, and tell me how many of them have already made a reaction video to this. See, I could jump right on it. Or when Wilder Fury first happened. You know, a lot of these guys said the fight is impossible. It's not going to happen. Frank Warren said it was going to be announced in a week. It's not happening. Dan Rayfield says Tyson Fury is going to back out. Tyson Fury gets on the horn, does an interview or a video on his social media, said, the fight's still going on my watch. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. I'm just taking a much needed vacation with my wife. I'm announcing she's pregnant, and I'm taking that belt off of Wilder. Once again, they look dumb because they said all this stuff wasn't going to happen and all that. Man, I love the Bay. I was first responder to the fires in Northern Cali in 2015. Drove home, stopped in Vallejo, had the best chicken strips ever, and met some good hip-hop and boxing fans. Shout out to James Souza. The Bay is real chill. What's the excuse? See, and that's the thing. They're thinking of the excuse that they can make now. I mean, Barry Hearn, he's out of the loop, you know. He that's why he was fishing. He was fishing because it's really Eddie Hearn's business. You know what I mean? What are they gonna say for why Barry Hearn said all this? First, the fight wasn't gonna happen with Wilder Fury. Then they announced the fight's gonna happen. Frank Warren said we'll have the details to you in a week. A week didn't happen. They jumped the gun. They said, oh shit, see, aha, Eddie Hearn was right. We told you Fury's going to bail out the fight. Then a couple days later, Fury does an interview, and he said, the fight's still happening. And then he did one today saying, I signed my portion of the contract. Shout out to the Daily Mail. Now Barry Hearn comes with this. These dudes is looking crazy. These man fans looking crazy. Yeah, they gonna say it was hot out where he was fishing and he got dehydrated. See, Brent Weary know. He's like, I know this sounds crazy, but on his fishing trip, he went to the bait store and they roofied him. Like, oh my God, come on, bro. No, seriously. Bill Cosby, he's awaiting trial. And he's like, Barry, I would like to put this in the drink. Excuse me, here's your coffee. So you want me to believe that Bill Cosby was working at the bait and tackle store and he roofied Barry Hearn before the interview? These dudes is pitiful. They gonna come up with something wild like that because they know they ain't got nothing. Bill Cosby, I would like to put this blippity bloop bloop in the coffee. What? Bill Cosby roofied? Really? That's what you want me to believe? Bill Cosby roofied, what's the name, Barry Hearn on his fishing trip? Put the Quaalude in the tackle box and I will tackle you. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. See, listen, this is why I don't like talking to these bums, man. Watch what happened to their channel now. I promise you, I've been here too long. I've seen it. People don't like. I told you, they want to be new media so bad. So what new media is doing to expose the truth, they're in fact trying to work that hard to expose some bullshit. So this is what happens. People don't take kindly. They're like, damn, you led us down a cliff and we all just fell off. We believed in you. You know what I'm saying? And you told us some bullshit, and now that it's like it's a downward spiral, people don't take kindly to that. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to be led astray. Like, damn, we followed your lead and then you led us off a fucking cliff. Like, y'all just walked off a fucking cliff. So if you survive, you like, damn, John Doe channel had us fucked up. I thought I was finna die. You know what I'm saying? The Deontay Wilder fans was in that ass. You know what I mean? Or whoever you want to blame for it. And I'm going to tell you, watch what happens to each channel. I've seen it. The same thing happened with Mayweather Pacquiao. When it's like this huge rivalry, the losing side who is putting out all this Fox News type of propaganda, watch what happens to the channel. They're gonna be brutalized in that comment section. And how could you even want to continue if every day you open up your chat and people going in on you? Nobody going in on me. And if they are, I mean, you know where it's coming from. Who's gonna be like, oh, Ego, you said this and it was right, but fuck you. That, I mean, they're gonna say stuff like that. What are they gonna say? Oh, you was dead on, but I hate you. What they gonna say? Shout out to Hamza. He said, laughing my ass off. You prophesized this months ago. Exactly. So now we just enjoy the fruits of our labor. Watch Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, and it's another case closed as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? That's what these cases are like. I'm a detective, true detective. We're going to get to the bottom of it. You know what I mean? We're not out here trying to convict the wrong person. That's not what we do here on this side, the Boxingego new media side. We try to get to the bottom of it, whatever it is. You know what I mean? And I know from jump, I've been telling y'all what I honestly felt based on what I've seen. You know? So we'll see. You tell me. You tell me what happens next. But the fans about to go in on all these channels that they was trying to work. Every time I did a video, they're trying to work just as hard to say the opposite. But then now, how you gonna say the opposite of what Barry Hearn just said? What's your excuse now? The black channel. Why do they think they're always right? I mean, can they be wrong? My shooters tried telling y'all dumbasses. I don't have a pick for Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. I'm just really watching as a fan. It's really a 50-50 fight, stylistic. Whoever has the better game plan. I could see both of them winning. What did Bob Arum say to Eddie Hearns? That's what I'm saying. This DAZN shit is coming at a crazy time. You expecting for American, all like it's like a giant walking contradiction. Eddie Hearn was trying so hard to let people know that Deontay Wilder is not a star in America, but then you have Barry Hearn saying the opposite. He's like, oh, Wilder's been doing great. Why is it that you and your dad are saying totally different things? You know what I mean? Eddie Hearn was making it like people in the streets of New York. Nobody even knows you. No one knows you in New York, Wilder. But Joshua can't go to the grocery store in London without being spotted and stopped. But then you have Barry Hearn doing a fresh interview, and he's like, Wilder's done a great job raising his profile, and with the Fury and Wilder beef, and the AJ, you know, piggybacking off of that, using that momentum. So what is it? Which one is it? What Hearn am I supposed to believe? And when you have that type of discord in the team, that's how you know who's kind of telling the truth. Because why is it that depending on who you speak to, Pacquiao's team does the same thing, and I'm surprised people haven't learned. Pacquiao's team would do the same thing. They'd be like, do you want to fight Terrence Crawford? Do you want Pacquiao to fight him? Freddie Roach is saying whatever African American and Filipino won't sell. What? What do you mean the African American and the Filipino won't sell? Mayweather's African American and Pacquiao's Filipino, and they hold the record. You know, Michael Conk's like, oh, Terrence Crawford, we hate his style. We hate looking at it. But Bob Arum's like, Terrence Crawford is next up for Pacquiao. And then, you know what I'm saying? But listen to Pacquiao's team, the different people. Pacquiao, I want to fight Terrence. I want to fight him next. All over the place. All over the place. Same thing with AJ. And you know it's bad when they're all over the place, even the same person. AJ will say one thing. He went from, I'm going to fight Wilder when the fight suits me, be it this year, 2019, 2020, to doing an interview talking about these boys can't beat me and I'm going to fuck him up. So you have one person in a short span of time, again, all over the place, saying multiple different things. T. Machiavelli, we're not doing your little stupid distractions. Ego, your thoughts on Wilder's team accepting the Fury fight without a date or venue, but not the AJ fight. I'm not accepting your distractions because what you're saying is full of shit. We don't know that they don't have the date in the venue. We don't know that Wilder and Fury accepted a fight without knowing the venue and date. Just because they haven't revealed it to the public doesn't mean it's not done behind closed doors. They might have the location and date sewed up, but just because the public doesn't know, that don't mean it. So you trying to switch subjects. We ain't switching those subjects. How do you know that Fury don't know? And why? And listen, you the only one complaining. Fury knows he's coming to America. He's not saying nothing. He's not saying like he knows he got to fight in America to get this bag, and he's good with that. Wilder knows he has a fight coming up. You know what I mean? So just because the public don't know, don't mean the fighters don't know. Just because they haven't announced it, it could be like, oh, November 17th, Wilder, November 17th, Fury, and we're going to do it at the Barclays, or we're going to do it in Vegas. I think they're doing it in Vegas, right? So just because you don't know, don't mean they don't know. Just because it hasn't been announced on boxing websites doesn't mean they don't know. I know several fighters personally, and they've inboxed me or talked to me or text me and say, yo, I'm fighting X, Y, and Z, but don't say nothing. So they knew who they were fighting, but I couldn't say nothing. I knew who they were fighting before the public knew who they were fighting because they told me, but I was sworn to secrecy. You know, that's why when it was cool to ask, I told you Javier Fortuna is fighting Adrian Granados. I was like one of the people that broke that because I have connections, you know, and they told me that the fight was going down. So you guys get it twisted. Oh, what do you think about Wilder signing without knowing? You don't know that he doesn't know, because to my knowledge, they did have a date. There might be little things they have to work out, but I think it's in Las Vegas in the mid-November, November 17th or something. So just because it hasn't been announced doesn't mean they don't know. Different subject, different scenarios. And either way, we're not switching gears. We talking about what Barry Hearn just said. Oh my gosh. What is the latest excuse? Barry Hearn just told you. He told him my advice was for him to wait 2 years? And then you're going to bring up Mayweather Pacquiao? And I literally said this. I don't know what stream, because I do a lot of streams, but Ego's Army, if you've been listening to the channel 8 months to a year, can I get a hell yeah? If you've been like, you know, a pretty frequent listener to the channel and been on live streams and shit for 8 months or better, can I get a hell yeah? Because I want to see if anyone remembers what I'm about to say. Because I want people to attest to that, to what I'm about to say. I've literally said on live streams discussing Joshua Wilder that I said thinking that this fight is Mayweather versus Pacquiao is incorrect, because Wilder nor Joshua has done what Mayweather or Pacquiao has done. So you can't let it marinate and think it's going to be as great as Mayweather or Pacquiao, because Mayweather and Pacquiao were both anomalies. I know I said that for a fact. Does anyone ever see? Look, legendary Acid says, yep, I remembered. I know I said it. I told you that. I said everyone wants to compare their mega fight or what they think is a super fight to this and that. And I also said this. I said fights like Keith Thurman and Errol Spence, they're very good fights. Joshua Wilder, very good fights. But people aren't going to wait for those fights in the same fashion we waited 5 or 6 years for Mayweather Pacquiao, because Mayweather and Pacquiao kept winning, you know what I mean? A lot of guys couldn't beat him, barring Marquez, who had 4 chances to beat Pacquiao, right? And I told you that. I told you, you can't compare that. They're anomalies. And they came up in a time where pay-per-view was structured different. You know, pay-per-views, you didn't have as many streaming options. Motherfuckers ain't waiting. New media's around. No one's waiting 5 or 6 years for no fight. That's why you see Mayweather versus Conor. They had the back and forth for a little while, but they had to strike while the iron's hot. They're not going to wait 5 or 6 years, you know, because, again, most of these guys aren't like from the olden days where they're going to be undefeated for the next 5 to 6 years, like Mayweather and Pacquiao. Even though Pacquiao, he lost to Marquez, but you guys get what I'm saying. Not just anyone was beating Pacquiao at that time, right? I told you this. I said all of this. So I said you can't compare it because people aren't going to wait for a Keith Thurman, Errol Spence. You know, it's a good fight, very good. But I also told you, I use this as an example. I said, okay, Keith Thurman don't look like you want to fight Errol Spence. Now people already moved on to Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia. Errol Spence versus, what's the name? Terrence Crawford. It's totally deflated. Thurman versus Spence. You don't really even hear that many people talk. People just come to grips with the fight's not happening anytime soon. Thurman on that Derrick Rose, you know, so we were probably not going to see it. So people have more one-track minds now and more ADD, where they're just like, man, we're not going to get that anytime soon. But that Spence Crawford is money, you know? And that's the same thing with Wilder. That's why Wilder Fury has gotten such a buzz, because yes, people want to see Wilder Joshua and maybe even want to see it more, but it don't look like it's happening. So, you know, life goes on. Tupac told you that. How many brothers fell victim to the street? Rest in peace, young. There's a heaven for a G. Life goes on. You know, people aren't waiting 5 and 20 years for these fights. The demand is, no one's waiting. Logan Paul and KSI, nobody would have waited 5 or 6 years. You know, Logan Paul and KSI might not have the same buzz in 5 or 6 years. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe their buzz is bigger. Maybe it's not. You don't know. But we ain't chancing it. Shout out to Sherrod Baltimore, $2 super chat. Fans want fights now. Y'all sound crazy. Hashtag Eagles Army. And I've told you, we're realistic, but it's been realistic. We were content seeing Joshua grow and blossom, fighting Dominic Breazeale's, Eric Molina's, an older Klitschko, you know, Takam, Joseph Parker, who we knew wasn't the number 1 champion or anything. We were content with all that, but the time seemed right for Wilder Joshua. I'm out. I've made my point. I don't have nothing else to say. The proof is in the pudding. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my night. Y'all got some explaining to do. Lucy, you got some explaining to do. I can't wait. Like I said, all you got to do is tell the truth. I told y'all for years now, 2 years. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Now it's checkmate. We've been playing chess. Y'all playing checkers. Once again, can't wait. I can't wait to hear the outcry, and I want to see what people have, what the retaliation or you know what are they gonna do to explain this stuff. Barry Hearn just told you on IFL TV basically his blueprint of, in a perfect world, what should happen. And he said, I want to wait 2 years, but it sounds like he realizes the fan pressure is going to grow. So he says, I could see it happening in 2019, because he knows you're not going to be able to stall him out for 2 years. You know, I mean, that's going to hurt Joshua's stock even more if he's talking about some 2020 shit. But once again, the first interview that people heard that made people raise an eyebrow with Joshua was when he was with Johnny Nelson talking about devil and the angel on my shoulder, right? And consequently and subsequently, it's very funny that first interview sounds eerily similar what Joshua was saying, AJ, to what Barry Hearn admitted to IFL TV today. He said, I had a conversation and dialogue with AJ, And I told him. So to me, it sounds like he was in Joshua's ear and gave his 2 cents. And Joshua was like, oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. We could let it build up. I want to be a billionaire. I'll go on with my career. But what they didn't expect is the new media. What they didn't expect is the impatient crowd. People aren't waiting for that stuff. They didn't think they would lose people's favor that quick, by not making the fight. They didn't think, and they're responsible for this because, to be honest, you're right. It's at the 6 minute and 30-minute mark. Shout out to Eagles Army. They gave you the exact timestamp. 6 minutes and 30 seconds into the IFL TV interview. The link is in the description of this video. I did a video about it on my YouTube channel. This is what we've been telling y'all. So I can't wait to hear those same channels, and I'm not going to watch the video, but I'll wait for the Eagles Army to report back and tell me what other channels are saying, Never give them shine though. And I want to hear the justification for this. Oh, Barry's just he's out of the loop and he's off his rocker. I mean, what are you gonna say to him? He's lost his marbles. He has dementia. I mean, honestly, what are you gonna say? You're gonna try to go at Barry Hearn because they did this when Americans had something to say about this. They said it was, oh, you bloody Yanks. You guys are so biased. You biased Yanks. But then Lennox Lewis would say it. Then they said Lennox Lewis is hating on AJ, like as if he owes Wilder something, right? And then Joseph Parker would say that Wilder's gonna knock out AJ. And then they say, oh, he's disgruntled because AJ beat him. Then Luis Ortiz would say that at least Wilder fought me, AJ ducked me, and I'll kick AJ's ass even if I'm 50. And you can't say, oh, it's because he's American, because he's not from America, he's from Cuba. So, I mean, what else? What are we talking about? What are they going to say now? That's all I want to know. Just like Ward Kovalev, too. Oh, Kovalev is doing all the memes, and oh, Kovalev is going to crush him in the rematch. Ward barely escaped with his life, and Kovalev's pissed now, and he's the crusher. And then when he gets stopped, a new excuse. Oh, son of Weeks and son of Ref and nut shots, hit him in the dick. Like, come on, man. And it just makes them look pathetic and looks pitiful. Listen, y'all got to start holding people accountable, including myself. I could say that in full honesty because I know I'm not out there just regurgitating bullshit and I'm not putting nothing out there. So I don't care if you hold me accountable. If you say, hey, Ego, you said this, you was way off the mark. You know what I mean? Here's a link that just disproved everything you say. But that's not what they do. They just say I'm biased. They say it's the bloody Americans. They say I hate AJ or something like that. It's not about love or hate. It's about facts. It's about what you can show, what you can prove, right? So I can't wait to hear what they can prove. Why Barry Hearn said all of this. Why is he saying on record where you could look at him? This is not just the audio and you can't see what's going on. He's on record telling you that I talked to AJ and got in his ear and told him to wait 2 years or longer to let the fight marinate. What are you gonna say? The Black Channel, they don't like the Hearns. Like, no, you're not doing that. You're not doing that over here. But again, I don't really have nothing else to say. This is what I've been saying, and this is Vindication. So as far as I'm concerned, this is where we can rest. Because I know they're not going to come back with nothing. This is the ether. I'm biased. See, and this I just said that before this interview even came out. I said this like yesterday or something on a live stream. How is it that these guys call me all types of names? Wilder dick sucker, Wilder lover, Wilder fanboy, Deontay Wilder's paying me. I'm on his payroll. Whatever. They're saying all this stupid shit. Oh, you're biased, bloody Yanks and biased Yanks. And then what I said came true. Now what happened? Once again, do I get a Hallmark thank you card for being right? A Hallmark I'm sorry card for being right? No, I don't get nothing but vindication. So the ball's in their court. And I told y'all, and that's why I said I blame everybody in Team Joshua. Because to me, at this point, Joshua clearly is not stepping up and saying, yo, I need this fight. Y'all making me look bad. I really want this fight. It has to be because he has enough like stock and stake in Matchroom to the point where his opinion should matter. So that means he's going along with it. That's really what I feel. He has to be going along with it. Even if this was Eddie Hearn or Barry Hearn's plan or whatever, he has to be going along with it. Because if you're an A-side star like that, providing a lot of money, like Conor McGregor, I don't know if you guys remember this. See, I remember this shit. Conor wanted to fight Floyd Mayweather. He stood to gain a lot of money. Dana White didn't. He knew it was going to happen. He knows the Mayweathers. He knew Conor couldn't beat Floyd in boxing, right? He wanted to prevent the fight. I told you that. Dana White did not want to make Floyd versus Conor unless it was in the octagon. And Floyd being the A side and the more accomplished, that was never going to happen for the first fight. Dana White didn't want the fight. But then Conor, had the right team and people in his ear. And he was like, I don't know what you're thinking, Dana. Hey, Dana. He was like, I'm taking this fight. You know what I mean? And it looked like there was some tension or rift between Conor and Dana because Conor kept saying in interviews, I'm fighting him. I'm training. I'm training as a boxer. See, I remember all this stuff. I'm training as a boxer. I would like to include the UFC, but if not, there's ways around it. He was saying stuff like that. And then eventually Dana, when he seen how serious Conor was and that he knew he couldn't be the one to prevent Conor McGregor from making $75 to $100 million by fighting Floyd Mayweather in boxing, then he got on board and the fight was made. Floyd didn't care. Al Heyman didn't care because they knew that Conor wasn't going to beat Floyd. It wasn't likely that Floyd. I know Floyd, he's not scared of boxers, so why would he be afraid of Conor McGregor? And they knew they could make a lot of money. Floyd just posted it today. He said, this is the easiest 9 figures I ever made because it's a year anniversary of that fight. You know what I'm saying? But the point being is Dana White did not want to make the fight because he didn't want to sacrifice his cash cow in the UFC. But Conor was so insistent, like, you're not going to block me from making that type of money. And he's like, I want to include the UFC, the Fertettas or whatever. But if not, I'm still fighting. I'm going to find a way to fight him. And then they got on board. So same thing. If Joshua really wanted, he could even go against the grain. Even if Barry Hearn and Eddie Hearn didn't want him to have the fight, he can go against the grain. Like, yo, I need this fight. I really want to knock Wilder out. It's making me look bad, fans. But he to me, he's clearly going along with the 10-year plan that Barry Hearn is talking about. Because if he wasn't, then I think the fight would have been made. You know what I mean? Just like when Canelo went against De La Hoya. De La Hoya is on All Access saying, I did not want Canelo to fight Erislandy Lara. He said that. But Canelo, being prideful Mexican fighter, when Erislandy Lara hopped his ass on the stage and upstaged him and called him out after the Angulo victory, he was like, Oscar, make that fucking fight. That's why the fight got made. So, I don't have nothing else to say. It is what it is. Barry Hearn, shout out to him for his honesty. But he told you, he basically said, and to paraphrase, boxing is a business. We have a long-term 10-year plan, which is stuff that you hear Hearn say, stuff that you hear Joshua say. Oh, the guy in the suit. And Eddie Hearn has said this 10-year plan, and there's no rush. And if that fight doesn't happen, Dillian White, like, nobody wants to see no AJ versus Dillian White straight away. If Wilder gets past Fury and AJ gets past Povetkin. Now listen, I'm definitely going to tune into Joshua Povetkin because as far as I'm concerned, that fight just became so much more interesting. Reason being, Povetkin, gold medalist with punching power. I want to see how Joshua handles this type of stress and this type of feedback because I've never seen Joshua have to. He's never been in the public eye, and public perception of him has never been at this all-time low. To me, I think people have, for the most part, rode with Joshua, had no problems with who he chose to fight, and know he was like looking for good competition, and in a few fights. But I want to see how he deals with this because there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and a lot of people are going to feel the type of way. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a case closed. Barry Hearn told you what it was, and he basically told you the blueprint. So if you can't see that at this point, I don't know what to tell you. We've been playing chess. They've been playing checkers. So please explain why Barry Hearn would say all this 10-year plan and Oh my God. Link in the description. I'm just going to play it one more time to be petty. Listen.
Because he's in charge. I'm happy to be there. You don't rush it. You know, I said to AJ, he asked me my honest opinion. I said, if you told me you were going to retire in 6 months' time, I'd tell you to fight Deontay Wilder now. If you tell me you're here for the long run, I say that fight can only get bigger. And also, you don't take chances. You don't go to the other bloke's backyard when you don't need to.
He said he kept it a buck. I give him that. He said, and on top of marinating it for 2 years, you don't take chances. You don't go to the bloke's backyard and take a risk like that when you don't need to. I mean, how much clearer does it need to get than the founder of fucking Matchroom telling you you don't take chances, and you certainly don't go into the bloke, aka Wilder being the bloke, his backyard, and take a risk like that. I mean, I would love. I'm gonna play it. Oh my gosh, this is fun.
Long run, I say that fight can only get bigger.
He says, if you're gonna retire in 6 months, which we know Anthony Joshua's not retiring at 6 months, that fight can only get bigger. So wait.
And also, you don't take chances. You don't go to the other bloke's backyard when you don't need to. The money is insignificant different.
He said money is insignificant. Hey, this shoots all that shoot 'em up shit y'all be talking. You gotta do something, babe. How much clearer does it need to be? Like, that's why I said this is almost thought you would come with the ether. What else can you say to that? The Black Channel. Why did the Black Channel rub it in? Black Channel, they want to rub it in. What are you gonna say? He just told you. If you were gonna retire 6 months, then I would say fight him now. Since you're not retiring in 6 months, think the big picture. Think 10 years. Stall it out, marinate it, you'll get more money. And on top of that, you don't go to the bloke's backyard to fight him. Hence why one would turn down $50 million. All that shoot 'em up shit y'all be talking. The $50 million that y'all, the $50 million didn't exist. And how do we know that the funds were available? Nobody doubted the funds, but y'all motherfuckers making excuses. So this is why the $50 million was passed up. Not because they didn't believe that the money would be available come the time, or it would be honored. It's because he just told you. You don't listen. This is why 50 million would get passed up, yo.
Long run, I say that fight can only get bigger. And also, you don't take chances. You don't go to the other bloke's backyard when you don't need to.
He just said you don't go to the bloke's backyard. You don't take chances when you don't need to. When have we ever heard Wilder, his side, Jay Diaz, Mark Breland, Al Heyman, who don't do interviews, right? Shirley Winkle, Dinkle, whatever y'all motherfuckers want to call him. When have we ever heard them say something like that? When have they ever said, Wilder, you certainly don't take chances and go to the UK and deal with them judges, deal with the refs who stopped the Carlos Takam fight prematurely? Never. Never. So that's why a person would take $50 million offer and not take it. He just told you, don't take chances. Don't take chances in fighting that bloke's backyard when you don't need to. AKA, we're gonna use this A-side leverage bullshit on, like, as if we've done what Floyd Mayweather or Pacquiao's done, which we haven't. Like I said, oh my gosh, we killing them. I might take a vacation because I've been killing them that bad. Remember how I always say this? Everybody wants to be Money Mayweather, but they don't want to go through the pretty boy Floyd stages. Have I or have I not said that repeatedly on the channel? Once again, everybody wants to be Money Mayweather, but they don't want to go through the pretty boy Floyd stages. Joshua is 21 fights into his career. Floyd had bodies on his resume before the De La Hoya fight where he became Money Mayweather. Everybody wants to be Money Mayweather without being pretty boy Floyd, and it simply doesn't work like that. And I'm out. We proved our point. Shout out to my shooters for holding it down. The super chats, y'all definitely been real, and it helps the channel thrive. I got a couple of people on Patreon. We getting it popping. There's some PayPals and Venmos that were sent. We getting to the next level, one way or the motherfucking other. Peace. Now, tell them tell that. Let's see them arguments from the opposing side. Why would explain yourself out of this corner? You know, it's like a group of dudes who are robbing a bank or something, and one person is getting pinned, or like they all get like under the watchful eye of the cops. The cops kind of figure out who's behind it, and then that one dude is not solid enough, and he's starting to crack under pressure, and then he reveals something that gets everyone kind of jammed up. And now it's like, oh, you said you weren't with him, and he told us you were with him. And you're like, oh my gosh, why would he say that? Because now everybody else's story is in question, because that one motherfucker that was part of the clique, that was part of the group, doesn't know how to deal with the pressure, and he revealed too much. You get what I'm saying? Too much was said. This interview was only 15 minutes, and it told you everything you needed to know. So I can't wait. And once again, this is how confident, because I try to warn these channels. I try to warn writers and Instagram pages and all that. You got to tell the truth, because you're not going to be here for the long run if you're going against the truth hardcore, and then all this damaging information comes out. Now you've lost all credibility. Ain't nobody can say I lost credibility. How I lose all credibility when I predicted this? You know what I'm saying? And I can't lose. I've been in the game too long. I can't lose credibility off of any one situation. One fight don't determine me. But even in this situation, I know what Ego's Army's been saying. We weren't way off the mark. We've been actually very dead on. Real Brother 32, didn't we try to tell him? So, you know, shout out to Nipsey Hussle. This is the victory lap. Tell him to catch up. Now, I can't wait to hear some more excuses on why it happened. Shout out to Barry Hearn for his honesty. Ego's Army. We are the Army. We are the Mafia. MOB. Money on top of boxing. Gang, gang. Check, man.